Welcome everybody to the Daily Space Weather. I'm your host, smAsho. Thanks for tuning in. We've got another interesting show today with some interesting articles and Sharticles. Starting things out, looking at the sun in 193 angstroms. To see no sunspots, I think. Stay tuned to the end, we'll make sure. And by the way, we are streaming live to Twitch. It's twitch.tv/smAsho, twitch.tv/smAsho. And let's take a look at HelioViewer. To take a look at the fields, in fact, let's zoom in on this active region up here. There's a big time zoom. And there are the fields. Could be a sunspot, could be not. We'll let you know by the end. Here's the view in 304 angstroms. And there's the in-betweener view. And we've got some more videos here. Here's 335 angstroms. And this is a 48-hour SDO video. So we see two small active regions there. The one in the south pretty much going away. The one in the north still significant. Does not appear to have sunspots. And let's look at some more data like the KP index, which is still at 1. And if you're viewing live, leave us a comment. 10.7 centimeter radio flux still at 70 solar flux units. And we're approaching a new moon. So new moon shows up at 1:38 p.m. my time. I'm located in eastern Pennsylvania. We're currently a waning crescent at only 0.3% of full. New moon, my favorite phase. Here's where stuff is in the solar system. There's where things will be in a week. Here's a star chart. And I noticed lots of articles about the conjunction of Mercury and Venus in the early evening sky. So right around sunset, you should be able to see Mercury and Venus out there. But not for long, as they're fast movers. If you're getting up before sunlight, like I usually do, you should be able to see Jupiter, Saturn, and Mars if you have a view of the ecliptic and clear skies. X-ray flux is still fairly flatlined here. No significant solar flaring. And no proton events either, no surprise there. Next, to look at the real-time solar wind, we see a constantly shifting phi angle over the past 16 hours or so. These look like coronal hole magnetic connections. We don't see significant coronal holes. Solar wind speed currently at 345 kilometers a second or so. Solar wind density around 6 protons per cubic centimeter. And let's talk cosmology very briefly. It won't be a real cosmology segment because the real cosmology segment has been canceled by COVIDiocy. So, Comet Swan. Here's a great image of it. And let's give a credit. Michael Yeager, one of the best photographers of comets known to man, created this GIF despite it being a cloudy day. You can find all that stuff at spaceweather.com. Next, let's look at the geospace magnetosphere movies. Here's the magnetohydrodynamic pressure. Fairly steady here throughout the last 4 hours, which is the amount of data that this website shows. If you want to look it up yourself, just type in geospace magnetosphere movies. You'll see these, as well as the ground magnetic perturbations, which is what we'll show next. And there you see the ground magnetic perturbations, not too many of them going on. And the fact that we are in a polar excursion is part of the reason why we cover it. Did you see yesterday's video where we talk about the swarm data and the magnetic events going on all around the world centered on the South Atlantic anomaly? Well, if not, watch yesterday's Daily Space Weather video. Anyway, there's 4 hours of data. Ground geospace magnetic perturbations. Nothing too exciting going on there. Although we do have 2 north poles. And we've crossed back into the South Pole oriented current sheet. The North Pole portion of the current sheet no longer connected with the Earth. And this could be all over the place for the next couple of days here, as the sun is playing tug-of-war with its B fields. So this looks like a crossing, this looks like a crossing, and this looks like a crossing. So, but we appear to be in the South Pole oriented current sheet, and here's the Gong 2 data to verify that. Keep in mind the data is 1 hour and 17 minutes old and can change with absolutely no warning. Here's the last image, and you can see no green on the current sheet, at least not detectable right now. And here's a line of sight field plot, and you can see the way this active region is affecting the B field shown in blue. And let's bring up the last image. There's the last image. A little bit of a shape change going on with the B field out there in the east. Relativistic electrons are at very low levels. Here's the greater than 2 mega electron flux. Very low levels. Goes electron flux, not quite as low, but pretty low nonetheless. So we don't see any kind of major charging hazards. Here's the total electron content forecast. And we expect most GPSs to be working quite well. Very small margin of errors, even around the equator at noon. Now let's look at one layer of the atmosphere, the ionosphere. Here's 6 hours of data courtesy of Australian Government Bureau of Meteorology. And it's looking fairly normal here. There's the latest image coming in at 7:30 UT. A little bit discharged on the daytime side. Next, earthquakes. We did see a very strange one in the Democratic Republic of Congo, right in Central Africa there. Let's go up the list. Nothing over a 6 magnitude. That Congolese quake was at a 5.2 magnitude. One of the largest of the past 24. And let's continue up the list here. Of course, Nevada still getting struck. Some Hawaiian small quakes. And there's one at the Northern Mariana Islands at depth. It's a 4.9 magnitude and 126.4 kilometers depth. Oh wow, a 5.3 struck Nevada. And that's the largest quake of the past 24 hours, I believe. Let's check out the location of that one. And it is indeed southeast of where that 6.5 magnitude quake happened. The 6.5 happened closer to this area. And let's move on before we get old and gray. Not that there's anything wrong with being old and gray. So just continuing up the list here, continuing up the list. 5.1 struck Greece as well. And volcanodiscovery.com showing us quite a lot of volcanoes on the list. Mount Etna, some explosive activity there. Kluchevskoy, flight level 20,000 there. Abiko, flight level 6,000. Aso, flight level 6,000. Sakurajima, flight level 7,000. Tucono's exploding, flight level 7,000 there. Popocatépetl exploding, 19,000 foot ash plume there. Revenador, discrete emissions as it explodes. I don't know what's discrete about explosions in a 16,000 foot plume of ash. Sabancaya exploding, sporadic emissions producing a 23,000 foot plume. And Nevados de Chilean also exploding, producing a 12,000 foot ash plume. Please do not attempt to fly a human kite over Nevados de Chilean. And we've moved on to the coronavirus section, which we would prefer not to cover, but due to current events, I've got to go for you and punch that thing right out of the air. Let's talk about breathing. Do you know how to breathe? A lot of people don't seem to know how to breathe, and there are plenty of COVIDiots that are out there breathing way too much carbon dioxide and basically suffocating themselves. So let's talk about nose breathing. Breathe through your nose, folks, not through your mouth. Why? Because of nitric oxide. It's activated by breathing through the nose, some sort of interaction between your sinus passages, and it then gets pulled into your lungs, which causes your alveoli to expand, and it increases your blood oxygen content by something like 10 to 15%. Now, this site, Breathology, is a site by Stig Severinsen, who is a 4-time free diving world champion. He knows a hell of a lot more about breathing than I certainly do. So get your full extent of the miracle gas, nitric oxide. Now, people add this as a nutritional supplement, weightlifters and so on. It also makes the blood vessel walls relax. So it's probably some kind of a thing that fights things like atherosclerosis as well. So there you go. You want 10 to 15% more oxygen in your blood? Breathe through your nose, not through your mouth. If you want to read the article, just look up nitrogen oxide, a pleasant poison. Also learn the Valsalva maneuver, which is performed by moderately forceful attempted exhalation against a closed airway. This is what divers use to clear their ears. Don't do it too hard because you'll blow your ears out, but even astronauts sometimes have a sponge-like device so they can perform it while wearing a spacesuit. So it's kind of important. You should probably understand it, as this can give you all kinds of benefits. The Valsalva maneuver. We picked up another article here at smashomash.com/forum in the coronavirus section. If you've never been before, head to smashomash.com/forum. Scroll down to the free-for-all section, and the free-for-all forum has a coronavirus repository of information, which is over 30 pages long. Possible virus Achilles heel discovered that could lead to treatment for herpes, coronavirus, and the flu. It all has to do with sting. So sting is a protein in the cells, and the goal here is to see if there's a way to weaken viruses or possibly strengthen human immunoresponses. So read the article, head to smashomash.com/forum. We won't talk about Governor Tom Wolf today. We will talk about yesterday's episode 10 of the Diamond Anvil. Did you watch it? It only had 42 views this morning. We talked about centipedes and bio bug-out bags and mask wearing and all kinds of other interesting stuff. So have a check out with that. Check out that. And we got another 12 views, 14 views just in the past couple of hours. And it's also on BitChute. Already got 183 views over there. As our videos on BitChute receive many, many more views than on YouTube, probably an indication that we're shadow banned thanks to Google. We're also on Twitter, so check us out there. We're also on Facebook, another zombie company. And we've just updated Minds with our Big Tech can't break the internet, but the internet can break Big Tech meme. One of the pro memes by yours truly. And it's true, folks. Big Tech can't break the internet, but the internet can break Big Tech, as those are zombie corporations. So let's talk about zombie corporations. Companies who have more debt than they can handle. They're still operating but unable to pay off debt. Now, in the case of these zombie corporations, they're unable to escape their own liability that they're creating through misinformation, outright lies, electioneering, fraud, abuse, scams, and all kinds of other stuff that they ought not to be doing, but they're doing it anyway. So you can see 233,000 people are employed by industrial zombie conglomerates. 193,000 are employed by zombie hardware storage and peripherals. 185,000 are employed by zombie energy equipment and services. It's all an article on CNBC. Highly indebted zombie companies control more than 2 million U.S. jobs. And let's talk Sharticles. I don't know if you're aware of what a Sharticle is. It's particulate matter expelled from the anus due to a shart when you think you're only going to fart, but more than that occurs, if you know what I mean. Also a foul and stupid article, often propaganda, such as if you look at phys.org's Earth section, it's rife with Sharticles. So let's talk about this Sharticle and thanks to Kimberly for sharing this pile of complete manure and nonsense from 9news.com.au. I'm going to go through this paragraph by paragraph because there's so much nonsense. At the center of our solar system, the sun is a constant force keeping planets in orbit, providing Earth with just the right amount of light and warmth for life, even governing our daily schedules. Okay, that was totally irrelevant, and that was like a 3-year-old must have typed that. Let's continue on. While we're used to the sun rising and setting each day, it's incredibly dynamic, and just like us, it goes through phases and changes. Okay, that didn't need to be said either. Over time, the changes have become more predictable. Have they now? Currently, it's going through a less active phase called a solar minimum. Okay. It experiences 11-year intervals. I'm sure all of our viewers were aware of that. During the peak, it showcases more sunspots and solar flares. At minimum, it's quieter, meaning less sunspots and energy. Scientists at NASA say we're currently in a grand solar minimum. Okay, that is just patently untrue. Scientists at NASA are not saying anything of the sort. Climate change and its impact on the sun. The last time this occurred was between 1650 and 1715, during what's known as the Little Ice Age in Earth's northern hemisphere, when combination of cooling from volcanic aerosols and low solar activity produced low surface temperatures, according to NASA's Global Climate Change blog. The problem with NASA's Global Climate Change blog is it believes carbon dioxide is the control knob for Earth's climate, which is why they say this solar minimum won't spark another ice age, and it's likely due to climate change. That's right, because NASA actually believes that human carbon dioxide emissions are going to exceed solar forcing and prevent an ice age. Now, I don't know if you know how ridiculous that claim is or not. The warming caused by the greenhouse gas emissions from the human burning of fossil fuels is 6 times greater than the possible decades-long cooling from a prolonged grand solar minimum. Even if a grand solar minimum were to last a century, global temperatures would continue to warm, according to some complete COVIDiot, because more factors than just variations in the sun's output change global temperatures on Earth, the most dominant of those today being warming coming from human-induced greenhouse emissions. And what they mean is carbon dioxide. So while pollution is real, folks, carbon dioxide is not a pollutant. And I'm going to abandon this Sharticle right now and go on to my response.
So the difference...
And I don't know who this guy is or why he's on my screen, but see ya. So anyway, I took a screenshot of this nonsense and I posted on Instagram, and here's my response. NASA writes Sharticles regularly and idiotically still believes carbon dioxide controls Earth's climate to the extent that human carbon dioxide emissions will overpower solar activity in terms of climate forcing. This represents a fully unacceptable science denial at the highest levels. NASA is wasting your taxpayer dollars and ignorantly lying to you. They're either stupid or they're lying. Is that acceptable to you? Climate change is real, and it's nothing like what mainstream ignoramuses like NASA purport it to be. Carbon dioxide is not a pollutant. It's the most important trace gas on Earth, and it's at the base of practically every food chain. Carbon dioxide is not a greenhouse gas on this planet, and has never been. 600 million years of carbon dioxide and climate data in the geologic record doesn't lie, but NASA does. Are they just ignorant, or are they lying to us intentionally? What say you? Leave a comment. Here's some good news from Nature.com. 10 reasons why immunity passports are a bad idea. Oh yes, it's a very, very stupid idea. It does all kinds of things that you don't want it to do, like violate your privacy. And let me get this off the screen. Okay, here's the 10 points. 1. COVID-19 immunity is a mystery. 2. Serological tests are unreliable. 3. The volume of testing needed is unfeasible. Even less feasible than a global vaccination initiative. Too few survivors to boost the economy. I don't know what that one's about. Measuring erodes privacy. Yes. Have you watched our HIPAA video on BitChute? It's got hundreds and hundreds of views. bitchute.com/smAshomash. About a 12-minute video about HIPAA, the Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act of 1996. Marginalized groups will face more scrutiny. Unfair access. Societal stratification. New forms of discrimination. Threats to public health. So check out this article. It's on nature.com. 10 reasons why immunity passports are a bad and COVIDiotic idea. Let's move on to look at weather.gov. And there's the current state of warnings. And there is a child abduction emergency going on in East Texas. At least the frost advisories have gone away for Pennsylvania. All right, so let's look at windy.com's pressure maps. We're going to let this advance via the GFS forecast, as we do most days. And there's where things will be at 12 noon tomorrow. Actually, right there is where things will be at 12 noon tomorrow, my time. And please take the opportunity to touch your face, folks. It's very therapeutic. I touch my face. I want you to disown me, the human race. I want you below me. All right, next we're going to look at the jet streams and check it out. Extreme jet stream flow over the U.S. Look at that. Wow. That is hardly even a jet stream. And let's look at the rest of the Western world here and move on and get this thing closed out and uploaded for all of you folks who didn't decide to watch live. Again, it's twitch.tv/smAshomash. We've been doing all the daily space weather videos live. Anyway, let's see as the world turns. Like sands through the hourglass of time, so are the days of our lives. Extreme meridional jet stream flow on both hemispheres. There they are. They are all over the place. Check out the north. All over the place, extremely chaotic, and down south. So we have very, very concentrated high-speed jets in the south, doubled up, tripled up, extreme meridional jet stream flow, you name it. Next, looking at water vapor maps for Africa and Europe. Water vapor maps for the Far East and Oceania. How about lightning maps? There's a bunch of lightning striking the U.S. Let's see what's going on. Wichita. There's thunder rolling in Wichita. If you've never seen it before, check lightningmaps.org when you hear thunder. Forecast thunder. Freak out your foes and impress your friends at lightningmaps.org. Next, looking at the U.S. Doppler radar, we see heavy storms across Kansas. Hopefully nobody is being transported to Oz in those storms, as well as some over Arkansas and some over central Texas. Also some stagnation of weather over places like coastal North Carolina. Heavy storms off the coast of Florida too. Probably making for some good surf at places like Daytona Beach. I'd be there. Anyway, there's what's going on in the cloud layer. This is the NASA GOES Interactive Weather Satellite shortwave radar. Shortwave satellite animation, rather. And here's the water vapor map. And it looks like this low over Kentucky is strengthening as the dry air is now pretty much out of the picture. So that could cause a bit of acceleration. And let's look at this convergence over Arkansas. And you can see a massive pressure gradient forming there. as that dry, more massive air, this dry, massive air here pushing to the east. Thanks to our patrons for being associate and assistant producers to the content. The real source of funding is Patreon, although YouTube has decided to occasionally pay us paltry, tiny amounts for our work on YouTube. We're also on Subscribestar, and we have different tiers. So Patreon has a $1 and a $9.99 a month tier. Subscribestar has a $3 a month tier. Please continue supporting us. Thanks to our patrons, our Subscribestars, etc. And thanks to Google AdSense. You won't hear me say that often, but yeah. Thanks to the Smash team. Please share the content on your social media. Thanks for flying American Smashways. Please keep your head and arms inside the Smash plane at all times. Here's the intensity gram. We're going to see if we see any sunspots. And I don't think we see any. But there could be some forming. It's looking a little dark there. So there could be some sunspots coming out here of that northern Cycle 25 plage region. The magnetogram doesn't look super organized to me. But there could be some umbrae forming. The best guess would be here. Or possibly there. And let's take a look at one more view. How about the 171 angstroms view? My personal favorite. Thanks again for tuning in, everybody. Remember, stare at the sun, don't drink. If you do drink, don't drive, and since it'll never be now again, may that solar wind be at your back. Welcome to the Neo-Renaissance. Visit our links below the video and help support the channel in whatever way you're able to. And may the covidiocy be absent from your multiverse.